Greetings, everyone. One of the things associated with our project is the idea that you might have an interest in putting graphs together. And Tableau has that function. It's called a dashboard. And so one of the things we've been working on is creating individual graphs or visuals and then thinking about those as separate entities. And so what happens if I'm able to take more than one of those visuals, put them together in one space to help my reader or my audience kind of understand a more global picture of what we're trying to do. So as an example, today we're going back to the Superstore data set and looking at several different individual graphics that provide some information, and then thinking about how we could pull those graphics into an overall dashboard. And so using the Superstore data, in this case, we've got, we use sum up here on the columns, we use categories and subcategories. So we tried to break everything down into the individual pieces. We're looking at profitability, and then our filter is category. So that's the initial setup. But wouldn't it be interesting to be able to take that and group it with more visuals that might provide you a different kind of look, a comparative look across different visuals. So how do we get to this point? Well, I'll turn it over to my resident expert. So Michelle, you're back with us today. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day. But at this point, why don't you tell us a little bit about the dashboard structure, and then if you could, take us through this idea of how do I pull my different visuals into one spot.
All right. So really, when you're looking at your dashboard and creating a dashboard, you're looking at all the other pages you've made in Tableau and looking at all the different visuals you've created and when you're putting them and bringing them all together, what that tells you about the data. So in this Superstore data set, for example, we have this global sales and profits, just showing the success across the globe in the different cities in their sales and profitability within their categories.
So in this case, we might be able to use some sort of tree map that talked about for our project that might say, what do the overall industries look like or compare to?
Definitely. And then this is the graph that Professor West was just showing us, the breakdown of sales and profit based off of the category and subcategory, just being able to visualize all of those and see them. And as you can see, the dashboards are really interactive. You can play with the graphs, change their size, move them around, and I'll show you that in a minute. But next, this is like a different graph on customer breakdown. So really, altogether, these three images are showing you so much. Obviously, you can see this profit color measure just so you can see based off this graph what the different points are showing you. And you have on this graph on the right, you can see all of the markets are the different shapes and what the different categories, the color means based on that graph. And another thing with dashboards is you can add a tab to make it interactive within. So if I was deciding that, yes, I have all of this global data, and I'm looking at all of the different categories, the furniture, office supplies, and technology, but right now I really, in my presentation, I want to delve into solely the furniture category. You can select just the furniture. So now, not only do we still have all these visuals and all the data, but it's just focusing on that furniture. So we can see right here in this sales and profit by category, it's the breakdown of just the furniture and that sales. So it has the different subcategories as well. And here you can see the customer breakdown. Yes, it's just talking about the furniture as the color is just the one.
So in this particular case, you would say it's all about the chairs, all right.
So now I'm going to just show you from the start where you're going to start creating a dashboard like this. So down in the bottom right, you can see this new dashboard little button. So what you're going to do is click the new dashboard, and it is completely blank. But what you can see on your left is the sheets, and these are all of the different sheets that I've created within the Superstore data set. So as before, I started with global sales. So what you do is you drag the sheet that you want onto the drop sheets. So now look, our dashboard is solely that global sales and profits. But no, we also want to add the graph on the sales and profits based off of category. So what you do is you drag that in. And as you can see, these gray rectangles are showing up along the graph. So that's showing where it's going to drop it and what it's going to look like. So we want it in the bottom half. So as you can see, the shaded area, that's where that new graph is going to go. So I'm going to drop it. And now it's in the bottom half of the graph. So now you notice that in the other dashboard, I'm going to go click back to it. It was a little cut off because I have another one down there, and this one, it's just half and half. So you really get to pick and choose what you want to show in a dashboard, how many visuals you want. You could do as many as you want or just one or two. It really depends on what you're trying to show within your data. And
But always remember your audience, because if you just bring all of your visuals onto one page, you're overwhelming your audience, and you're not necessarily giving them something to focus on. So make sure that you have a clear relationship for the visuals you pull to your dashboard.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're only bringing the relevant data and visualizations. Like as you can see, I have multiple sheets along the bottom that I could have brought to the dashboards, but I only chose to create a dashboard with 3 of them because I thought they were the most relevant. So now I'm going to drag in the customer breakdown category. So now you can see I have all 3 of the same that I had on the first dashboard that I showed you, and just recreated it.
How did you just resize that?
So automatically, as I mentioned earlier here, so I will go back so I can redo it. What you do is from this sheet section, you click it and you drag it, and it's highlighting or creating a shading over where it will appear. So I can put it in the bottom right, bottom left. I could put it up in the top, wherever you want it is. So just drag it, and then you can drop it based off of where you think it would look best visually.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And with that is basically a summary of dashboards and how to create them. Is there anything else you can think of, Professor West, that
just make sure that you focus on the items that come together. When we move to storyboards, we're also going to talk a little bit about labeling these things and putting some information into this. And so one last thing, can I export this one dashboard to PowerPoint?
Yes, so that would be done just the same way that we had exported it before. So you would go into File, and then File, Export as PowerPoint, and it would export that page just the same way as before, with the different slides as the different pages that you have on your Tableau.
You know how it would work with Google
Slides?
Yes, Google Slides. Thank you.
So when you export it to PowerPoint, it is basically creating a JPEG of each page in Tableau. So either you could export it that way to PowerPoint and then just copy and paste that JPEG from that slide in PowerPoint. Or another way you could do it is go down to Print to PDF. That's another way to export it. So you could press Print to PDF and then have either your entire workbook, or if you just wanted this dashboard, just have active sheet selected, and then you press OK, because it has already selected the view PDF file after printing, and that's where it's going to save it. So you press OK, and then you're saving this PDF, so you can save it to your desktop. Group 4 profitability story, save, and then when you go to your desktop, that PDF will be there.
Great. Well, I hope that helps you guys in terms of putting together one of the requirements you have for your presentation. And we'll be back shortly with a discussion of storyboards. So thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.